Business Day leading with the court urge to halt Moyane's challenge, and this is Judge Robert Nugent saying that the SARS Commissioner's application is not in the interest of justice for South Africa. Also, Transnet CEO to ask court to save his job, and this is the embattled Transnet CEO Siyabonga Gama, and he will on Tuesday approach the Labour Court to stop the Utilities Board from firing him, and that has been going on for quite some time. Mothball Tabazimbi mine holds value. And just in the side there, side column, Tuli Madonsela urging the EFF to probe a VBS scandal. And she says that the EFF should actually conduct its own internal forensic investigation into the VBS scandal and to probe if its Deputy President, Floyd Shivambu, was aware of his brother's alleged involvement in it.
Very interesting. Well, we do know that the EFF apparently calling a press conference for tomorrow.
Yes.
So we will get a little bit more from them. Even though this weekend we saw, denials from Floyd Shivambu that he had anything to do with all of that. So let's wait on that and see what comes of it. All right, I think the next newspaper is The Citizen.
Yeah, I got that too.
You got that too.
Cyril hit by VBS fallout. President Ramaphosa failed to disclose his reported knowledge of the VBS heist because he was looking after his own interest at the expense of the poor and destitute. And this is a political analyst, Professor Lesiba Tifo, who says that by not speaking out, Ramaphosa did not want to jeopardize his chances of winning at Nasrec. And he says the then Deputy President knew that if he had spoken out, Zuma would have marginalized him. But City Press also going with the story yesterday, and they said Ramaphosa knew about the massive looting that took place. There was actually a major shareholder who brought this information to him, so he was aware and he failed to act on it. So that's their lead story. And of course, brothers in arms. When last did we see such a beautiful picture of Bafana?
I know, and a great victory. What a victory over the Seychelles. What, 6-0?
Yeah.
So I think that's what
apparently it was the when we won the Cup of Nations in '96. Yeah, it's a long time.
I don't remember that. I think it was before my time. But anyway, good to see it happening in my time again. Let's have a look at the Sowetan now. Okay, we'll take a look at that front page. So let's just look firstly at the photograph there. Wow. I mean, I was seeing some photographs coming through over social media on Saturday night. Cars that were submerged in water, under bridges, on highways. It was crazy. So Sowetan using this photograph saying Johannesburg and its surrounds had stormy wet weather at the weekend. Temperatures down to 14 degrees. Drivers had to be extra cautious with the dangerous conditions on the road. Flash floods were reported in some areas. But the Weather Service has forecast sunny temperatures all around for the week. So there we go. Okay, then the SABC faces PSL blackout. That's the big one. And I hear a sigh coming from Sakina on my right-hand side. Public broadcasters balks at high cost of flighting games as SuperSport cherry picks the fixtures. So that's their big story. After a weekend in which the SABC blacked out Bafana's record win on its platforms, soccer fans could be up in arms as they may no longer be able to watch PSL on the public broadcaster. The cash-strapped SABC wants to stop flighting the popular ABSA Premiership games, apparently because beaming the games is just too costly. And then I'll have a look again. Motiba hungry for more as Sixy Bafana believe. Oh, is that what we're calling them now? The Sixy Bafanas. And then finally, real men wear skirts. Okay, so there's a beautiful...
Rick.
Well, listen, he looks good. If all men looked as good in skirts, I might accept it. But I'm not sure that every man can carry off a skirt. Sakina's not commenting, she'll leave it at that.
But let me just correct something before you go off onto your next interview. Apparently, during our earlier conversation, I was saying Robert Matodzi. It's Robert Madzonga that we were talking about. Madzonga, who was on Really Show yesterday.
That's right, absolutely unfiltered. Okay, there you go. So let's take a break. We'll leave men's in skirts in the newspapers, and
we'll leave it there.
We'll leave it right there, and we're going to tackle corruption after this. David Lewis, Henny van Veeren, our guests. Do stay tuned. That's happening now.